$5. That's less than what you spend on your morning coffee. You hand it over without even thinking. You drink it in 10 minutes, and by lunchtime, you've already forgotten about it. Now imagine something different. Imagine that instead of giving those $5 to a coffee shop, you gave them to yourself. Every single day. No exceptions. It sounds almost too simple to matter, doesn't it? Too small to change anything. But here's the truth that almost nobody talks about. It's not the big dramatic money moves that build wealth. It's the boring, repeatable little ones. And this one tiny habit, $5 a day, has the power to quietly make you richer than most of the people chasing get-rich-quick schemes. So, let's walk through exactly what happens year by year when you actually do it. Most people believe that getting wealthy requires a lot of money to start: a high salary, a lucky investment, an inheritance, a business that blows up overnight. And because they don't have any of those things, they do nothing. They tell themselves, I'll start investing when I finally have some spare money. But that day never quite arrives because life always finds something to spend on. Here's the trap hidden inside that thinking. Wealth is not built by large amounts of money. It's built by small amounts of money repeated over a long period of time. Let's do the math slowly. $5 a day is about $150 a month. Over a full year, that's roughly $1,800. On its own, that doesn't sound life-changing. And it isn't, not yet. But we're going to add two ingredients to that number. The first is time. The second is compound interest. And once those two things start working together, something almost magical happens to your money. Let's make sure you really understand this because it's the engine behind everything. Compound interest is when your money earns money. And then that earned money also starts earning money. Your gains start generating their own gains. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. At the very top, it's tiny. You push it, and honestly, it feels like nothing is happening. For a long time, it stays small. But the longer it rolls, the more snow it picks up, and the faster it grows, until eventually it becomes this massive ball that's almost impossible to stop. Your $5 a day works exactly the same way. As long as you put it somewhere, it can actually grow. We're not talking about hiding cash under your mattress. We're talking about investing it in something simple, like a broad index fund that tracks the whole stock market. Historically, the market has returned an average of around 7 to 8% per year after inflation. You don't have to pick winning stocks. You don't have to guess. You don't have to watch the news or time anything. You just put the money in, leave it alone, and let the snowball roll. Now, here's the part everyone waits for. Let's see what your $5 a day actually turns into, using an average return of around 8% a year. I want you to watch how the gap between the money you put in and the money you end up with grows wider and wider. After 5 years, you've personally put in around $9,000 out of your own pocket. Your account is worth roughly $11,000. The difference is small so far, just a couple $1,000s of growth. The snowball is still near the top of the hill. This is the stage where most people give up because it doesn't feel impressive yet. But patience is the whole game. After 10 years, you've contributed about 18,000 of your own dollars, but your account is now worth somewhere around 28,000. Notice what's happening. The interest is starting to pull real weight. $10,000 of that balance is money you never actually earned at a job. The market made it for you. After 20 years, your own contributions total around $36,000, but the account is now worth nearly $90,000. Stop and think about that. More than half of your wealth at this point came from compound growth, not from your own pocket. The snowball is now bigger than you are, and it's rolling fast. After 30 years, you've put in about $54,000 of your own money, spread out so thinly over the years that you barely felt it leave. And your account? It's worth more than $220,000 from $5 a day. without ever changing jobs, taking big risks, or doing anything complicated. You essentially turned a coffee habit into a small fortune just by being consistent and patient. Now, here's the most important idea in this entire video, and I need you to really sit with it. The secret was never the $5. The secret is time. Let me prove it to you. A person who starts investing just $5 a day at age 25 will, by the time they're 60, end up wealthier than someone who invests twice as much, $10 a day, but doesn't start until age 40. Read that again. The person who put in less money won simply because they gave their snowball a longer hill to roll down. This is the part that's so easy to miss. Every single year you wait isn't just one lost year of contributions. It's a lost year of growth stacking on top of growth. The most powerful years, the ones at the very end where the snowball is biggest. That's why the worst possible thing you can tell yourself is, I'll start when I have more money. Waiting doesn't make you ready. It just steals your most valuable resource, which is time. As the old saying goes, the best day to start was yesterday. The second best day is today. So let's make this real. You're probably thinking, okay, this sounds great, but where do I actually begin? The good news is it's far simpler than it sounds, and it comes down to 4 steps. First, open a simple investment account. This could be a basic brokerage account or a retirement account, depending on where you live. These days, you can do the whole thing from your phone in about 10 minutes. There's no suit, no banker, no complicated paperwork. Second, and this is the step that quietly does most of the work, set up automatic contributions. Don't rely on willpower or remembering to invest each day. Let the money move on its own, automatically, on schedule, without you having to think about it. The whole point of being a lazy investor is removing yourself from the equation so you can't talk yourself out of it. Third, choose a broad index fund that tracks the entire market rather than betting on individual stocks. No guessing, no hype, no chasing whatever's trending. You want boring, wide, and steady. And fourth, the hardest step of all, do nothing. Don't touch it. Don't panic and sell when the market drops, because it will drop sometimes, and that's completely normal. Just keep going and let time do its job. The lazy investor doesn't win by being smarter than everyone else. They win by being more patient. Disclaimer: I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. All figures are illustrative examples based on historical market averages and are not guarantees of future results. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of money. Always do your own research and consult a qualified financial professional before making investment decisions.